All right, so Jacob Castro with Parry Punch, and today I'm joined by Carlos Hernandez. How are you doing, Carlos?
Good, good, man. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. I want to have you on to talk about your fight that happened about 2 weeks ago now at UFC Vegas 75. It was a crazy fight, man. Like a lot of stuff happened, but what ended it was you had a knockout, and then you guys clashed heads, and the referee overturned it to a decision because it happened at like 4 minutes 59 seconds of the third round, right? So just talk about that a little bit, man. How are you processing that? Because I know it's a little difficult. That was your first finish in your first knockout in your career. So how does that feel to kind of like go through that?
Yeah, it's a little bittersweet. It kind of feels like it was taken away from me in a way, but no, like as far as everything else in the fight, I mean everything felt pretty smooth in there. I felt like I was in control, for pretty much majority of the fight, and that was just like that finish was like just a cherry on top at the end, and then it was like kind of a lot of emotions in there. Going from thinking that you had this bonus worthy finish, right, to then the ref calling a clash of heads, and then they're reviewing it, and you kind of just don't know what's going on. Didn't know like it was gonna be like a DQ or something or no contest. Um, so yeah, it was just kind of a roller coaster in there. But thankfully, I mean, at the end, the win, getting your hand raised is all that matters, I guess. So fortunately, we were
Yeah,
able to get that.
yeah. At least you got the win. So I guess kind of like you're saying, it's a little bit bittersweet. Did you get taken care of at all? Like the fact that you kind of got the knockout taken away from you and stuff. You didn't get any bonus or any side money from the UFC or anything?
Nah, nah, no, nothing of that mattered yet. But yeah, no, it's just kind of it is what it is kind of thing.
Okay, gotcha. Who knows? Maybe in the future, I don't know if your manager is going to be trying to reach out to them, but do you want to fight kind of soon to get the ball rolling again, or how you feeling like moving forward now?
Ideally, I think I'd like around the fall time,
Fall time.
like September, October, just kind of chill out for a little bit here. It's kind of slowly going back into training this week. But no, it kind of just feels like I've got two already, and we're just in June, so it just kind of feels like it's been like fight camp the whole year. So kind of just like dial it back a little bit for a few weeks here, and then before we get back um, into another like camp mode, I guess you could say.
Right. And I mean, at least you did get all your money because you got your win and your show money. So it's just you kind of missed out on extra money, but like you said, you fought twice already. So it seems like you could take a little time off and heal up for your next one. I want to go into the fight a little bit though. So in that first round, close round, I think you kind of believe that you lost that round. But he had a knee, right? Like I think you were on your knees, and then he hit you with a knee or a kick or something like that.
Yeah, that was in the second round
Oh, that
actually.
was in the second
That
round. Okay.
Yeah, I felt pretty like confident in that second round. The first round, I was like I wasn't sure,
Yeah.
so I just was assuming the worst. So like in between the second and third round in the corner, I was just kind of like it's 1-1. We need this one, right? And they're just kind of like they're just trying to kind of get me to focus on the things we needed to do to win that third round, as opposed to like really agreeing or disagreeing with it.
Right.
Top of that whole like knee scenario thing that was crazy. Which like I don't get either. Like I think in the cage he told me something like it bounced off my shoulder and like hit the head or whatever. But like on the replay, it looked pretty damn clear that it was like a knee to my head and then like maybe the shin hit my shoulder or whatever. So I was like, I was mad about it, but I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not about to argue with you as we're gonna start this third round. So I just kind of just had to shrug it off and I guess I got a little bit of payback in the in the end there.
Yeah, you did in the end. And what's crazy is that he didn't even take a point for that, right?
No, yeah, exactly. That's why,
Yeah,
like, looking back on the replay, I'm like, that's as blatant as you can get. Like, this
right.
is obvious and intentional and everything. So, that's how I was like, all right, whatever, man. But I think I mentioned that after the fight ended when they were replaying the head clash.
Yeah.
They wanted to call.
Man, yeah, that was rough. And then at the end of it, it's like he does his job then, but he doesn't do his job initially, which is kind of rough for you. Yeah.
Exactly. And then like looking back on the replay too, like immediately when he stops it, he's like calling like a clash and I'm like, dude, if you saw that like supposedly at the beginning, like why'd you let him eat the seven freaking eight elbows that he ate? And like why'd you take it so long to stop it if that's what you're gonna call immediately? Like
Yeah.
his just like his calls made no sense to me that whole night
That
or
makes
that whole
sense,
fight
actually.
that whole fight.
Yeah, especially because that's actually a good point I haven't heard yet, which is like you just said, you like he should have just stopped it right when he saw the heads clash, right when he
Exactly.
fell. But
I would
he waited for
I
you to
would
knock him
respect that
out.
more. Yeah, I would respect
Yeah,
that more than letting the dude take unnecessary punishment. You know, and if I was the other dude's corner, I would have been pissed too.
yeah,
After I didn't see them complain at the ref, but I would have been like, dude, like after the second or third one, like you got you're right in front of them. You should be able to tell that the dude was out, he was limp. But I mean, whatever, it is what it is, I guess.
I feel that a little bit of hindsight decision for him. I feel like, but where were you at mentally or like physically too after you did take that kick? Like you got some time to recover, but was it kind of you were able to get back in there and you weren't too shaken up after that?
Yeah, no, there wasn't really any damage. It wasn't, or at least I didn't feel it too hard. It was more so
Okay.
just me pissed off about it. But at the same time, kind of like trying to take my time and not like rush it and uh, like hurry it up back in there if anything was shaken up. But no, I stood up and kind of was walking around. I felt pretty solid. Nothing really. Was just kind of waiting for the doctor to get in and stuff because he had to check me because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, fuck it, dude. Let's go. I'm fine.
Yeah. And you've kind of fought your whole life, which we'll end up talking about. I noticed you wrestled and stuff in high school and you've been boxing since you were a kid too. But last thing kind of about this fight. So you were coming off a loss. I heard you talk in your press conference. You're kind of disappointed in yourself with your last loss. You feel like you didn't really show up. So how did it feel to, I guess, maybe relieve that pressure now? And how was the training camp? Was it kind of something that was like weighing on you, or how were you processing it before this fight?
Yeah, no, it's definitely relief for sure. Cause like yeah, like I don't know. I feel like I couldn't get it going, and then by the time I wanted to get it going, I was like in a super bad positioning as a dangerous guy, like in a spot he's good at. So it just kind of feels like to me when like stuff like that happens, it just feels like a letdown. I feel like I let down my coaches and like family and friends that like put their time and effort like into training me or like going to watch or like supporting. So it just always kind of feels like a big letdown when stuff like that happens. So like for sure that was in my mind, like in the back of my mind, like this whole camp, I was just like no matter what happens here, like just kind of I was just like ready to go. Win, lose or draw, I was like just go out there and be myself. And when I'm like that, when I'm myself, I feel like it's like I'm a handful for anybody in the division. So uh, just kind of repeating that to myself, like just go out there and let it fly. And I think the win like will take care of itself.
Gotcha. Was it like harder to take a? Is it harder to take a loss in MMA or like because you've also taken losses probably in boxing and wrestling? Does an MMA loss kind of stick with you a little more, or is it? Do you look at it the same and you kind of like don't put extra pressure on yourself that way?
No, I think it sticks with us a little more because
Okay.
it's not like a tournament growing up like wrestling or
Hmm.
kickboxing where like you can fight like the next week or compete the next week and kind of just shake that last one off. But this one it kind of it stings a bit because you're usually out for like a month or two before you get the next one lined up. So you like don't really get to like avenge yourself, I guess, in a way. So yeah, for sure, I think these stick around a little more.
Okay. Gotcha, man. Well, all right. I want to talk about like your life now a little bit and just kind of growing up. You are from the south side of Chicago, right? Like, what's this? What's the city exactly? Or I guess Chicago, right?
Yeah, so I was born in Chicago on the south side. I lived in the actual city till I was about like two, and then after that I moved to a little town called Cicero, which is about like 10-15 minutes out of the actual city. So I've been in Cicero since I was two. Um, I mean, there's parts. It's similar to the south side, I guess. There's parts of the town that like aren't the greatest. The block or the neighborhood, I guess, area we've lived in, it's always been pretty calm. Nothing too crazy here. Like live on a dead end street by the train track, so uh, nothing too crazy goes on around this side of town. But for sure, it's not the greatest neighborhood. When you tell people like from around here that I'm from Cicero or whatever, they you kind of get this look or like this. They'll start to judge you in a way. But no, I mean it's kind of just molded me and into kind of like the person I am today. So it's kind of, I mean, yeah, you could live in a better spot, but it's not too bad. It wasn't terrible growing up.
Okay. Why do they kind of give you like a look in a way? What's the city you want to live in that area?
I mean, I guess like ideally, right? You want to live. a nice lakefront view downtown or something like that. But no, just kind of I guess the stigma that people from here have,
Okay,
stuff like that.
gotcha. Is it not a friendly town or something? Is that the stigma?
Yeah, just kind of I don't know. It's not like those. I don't know. We'll go to like other towns areas and you'll be like jogging or whatever, and people say hi to you and stuff here. Here you'll get more like a mean mug stare, like kind of like what the hell you looking at, kind of
Hmm.
vibe. A little bit rougher.
Gotcha. Yeah, a little rougher. That makes sense. Maybe yeah, it's probably just a product of the environment a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So how close are you to like O Block necessarily? Because that's the popular city that or like the little neighborhood that everyone's focused on in
No, yeah,
Chicago.
we're a bit away ways from there, like probably 30,
Okay,
40. Not that close. Not like I said, not that bad. Uh,
gotcha.
of a town where wouldn't say all that now, but we could be a little friendlier, I guess.
Okay. You like that Chicago rap and stuff like that, or what kind of music you like?
A little here and there. People always, like whenever like it's like my like fight camp or whatever in the gym, they'll ask for music. I really don't care. Kind of pretty open to most things, so we hear a lot of it, a lot of different types in the gym.
Okay,
Depends who's on the aux, I guess.
gotcha. And last thing, just about kind of like the area. Is there like people that like shootings out there and stuff? Like I hear in Chicago, you got to almost like sit on the floor, like depending on where you live, because there's like drive-bys and shit. Like, is that something you ever experienced, or were you kind of lucky in that way?
I experienced most of that probably when I was a kid,
Okay.
playing soccer. We used to play at a park. It was actually a park close to I was born at. I mean, we witnessed a few, or you just kind of just yeah, like you're saying, just kind of got used to it as a kid. When you see it or hear it, you just kind of lay on the ground and wait for it to pass by. But no, luckily, I haven't been that close to many shootings. I'd say just the more vivid ones are like yeah, playing soccer in the South Side growing up as a kid.
Okay. Are you ever looking to kind of like reroute to or relocate to Vegas at all, and maybe bring your family there? Has that ever been a thought of yours?
Nah, I mean I
No.
haven't. As long as the gym does move, as long as Coach Mike does move the gym, I don't plan on leaving the
That's the
area.
VFS Academy, right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
at
yeah.
VFS. We got the crew there. So I mean, not until like I retire. When I retire, I'll probably move somewhere where there's no winter, man. Because man, there's wind and cold and shoveling all that. Uh, it gets old, but
Yeah.
no, yeah, for sure. Probably when I retire, somewhere where I don't have to deal with that. But no, for now, as long as the gym doesn't move, I'm not moving anywhere.
Okay, gotcha. You think the weather kind of makes you guys tougher out there? I mean, I'm over here in California. I got cherry weather, 70 degrees every day. Like I'm privileged, but you think that makes you guys a little tougher?
Oh yeah, for sure. It makes it
Yeah.
a little thicker skin here. Cause yeah, those winter practices where you get on step on the mats and it's freezing. It's a little different. It makes it a little tougher, I think.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay, so your dad got you into what, boxing and wrestling and stuff at an early age?
Yeah, so I was 8 years old. I was just playing soccer at the time, and I was kind of like the test dummy for me and my brothers. And we
How many
started off.
brothers you got?
I got three younger brothers.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so started off with kickboxing and jiu-jitsu. Yeah, at 8 years old.
Okay, and then you were competing in that and that how like all the way up until high school and you started wrestling?
Yeah, so let's see. I started wrestling probably like sixth, seventh grade.
Okay, a
Uh,
little early.
yeah, and then growing up, it was just kind of like adding a form as we went. So I competed first in kickboxing, then jiu-jitsu, then closer to high school, I started doing boxing, Muay Thai, with the wrestling tournaments. And then yeah, I just kind of did a little bit of everything until I turned 18, and I graduated high school. And like I think a month later or a couple weeks later, I had my first amateur fight.
Yeah, I noticed you've been fighting amateurs since what, like 2013 or like 2012 or something like that?
2012 to 16, I think I was amateur.
Yeah, so you were basically ready to go. You had the skills as soon as you graduated.
Yeah, for sure. That was like because I went to college in Minnesota, so that was kind of like always like my parents like I don't know, I guess rule or whatever that like before you go pro you gotta finish your school stuff. So I
Oh, really?
I competed as much as I could throughout college, and then It was probably like January. So was it like 5 6 months after I graduated? I had my pro debut.
Okay, so you were competing amateurs in Minnesota?
Not quite. So like as you probably know, the amateur MMA scene, it's like you don't have more than like 6 7 fights. So
Yeah.
uh, I had a lot of fights as amateur, so it was tough to get like local fights there. So probably after my freshman year of college, the only time I could fight MMA were like nationals through UMUF or at the World Championships at IMUF. So yeah, I was like St. Louis, Phoenix, and Vegas areas that I was primarily fighting for that stuff for amateurs.
Okay, gotcha. So was this something you were like planning on doing as a career, like since you were a kid?
Yeah, I think like probably around 12, 13, I was like, okay, I could see myself like doing this uh, as my career wise. So that's kind of like that. That was like we built, or I guess my whole plan with school and everything was based off my fight career stuff.
Okay. What did you get your degree in?
So I double majored in marketing and sport management, and then I ended up minoring in accounting, which I started off with accounting, but then I was like, man, I can't like going from the gym to like a cubicle to being trapped inside all day. I can't see myself doing that. So I just ended
Yeah.
up, I ended up minoring in accounting, and I double majored in the other two.
Okay. That might be a good path for you, dude, because like in MMA, there's not too many fighters who are managers. Maybe you could be like a manager after you retire or something way down the line.
In an interview I did, I think yesterday, they're asking me like post fight stuff. I was like, I don't know exactly what I want to do yet, but it'll for sure probably be something related to the fight game. And yeah, like being a manager is probably a solid route to
Yeah.
go.
Gotcha. By the way, how did you get onto the Contender series?
It was just kind of through fighting through the regional scene. Let's see, I had about 6 or 7 on the regional scene, then at LFA, and then I was close to getting on Tough. What season was it? Not the Juliana one, but I think the one before or after.
Okay.
Uh, so I ended up being an alternate there because I would obviously have to bump up. It was at 35. Didn't get that, but they're like, just stay ready. Like you're kind of in the loop already. They'll probably give you a contender last minute or something,
Yeah.
and that's what happened. That a few weeks or month or so later, they're like, they hit up my manager with a contender offer, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. So just kind of had to sit out a bit. I think it was after LFA fight. I had to sit out for a bit, just kind of not risk getting hurt or whatever, and
Yeah.
show up or be ready for that contender opportunity.
Yeah, that just happened to like another fighter who got kicked off of Tough 31. He got like another opportunity, so he'll be on Contender series. But I want to talk about that fight a little bit, man. I was looking at the guy who you beat. He's gone off on. He's actually going to make his debut in the UFC in his next fight, but he's gone on to do like 4 first round knockouts. What was that fight like for you?
I mean, it was I think the only thing that kind of threw me off was like
Yeah,
or not threw me off, I guess just kind of something to learn from was like the aggressiveness, because like I feel like I give up like easy takedowns on there, which that kind of surprised me too, because I figured he was gonna come in and want to just strike the whole fight, but I don't know if he just didn't like what it was like on the feet with me or something surprised him, but no, yeah, it was just like the whole thing. I don't know, it was wild because like we put so much went into that fight, like sitting out and getting ready and like just everything that would come after it. So it was like a lot on the line, a lot put into it. So uh, afterwards, it was just like, sheesh. I think like my coaches were just as exhausted as I was. So no, yeah, it was a scrap for sure, and just a lot. It was wild. It was kind of just got you ready for the big leagues or the UFC. It's like it's probably what it's going to be like here on out.
yeah. And like, what? How old are you? Like 26,
I think I was
27?
26, 27 at the time. Yeah.
Okay, and this guy was what, like 30, 31?
Yeah, yeah, I think he was, yeah, early 30s,
Yeah.
around there.
So
So
like,
I'm getting him in his prime.
right.
Uh,
And
so
he's
we're
thinking
gonna see.
you're like a young kid, he can't lose to you. And
Yeah,
like
right.
the fact that
Yeah,
you
like, in
edged
the
that
build
out.
up to it, he's like, "There's no way." He's like, "There's no way any flyweight beats me. This is my chance." Yada yada. I was like, "All right, well." we're gonna see, dog. We'll see it when it locks up and we're going.
Yeah. So I have another question, kind of like kind of with the boxing mindset. You started your career early, man. Like right now you're 29, already 3 fights into your UFC career. Flyweight right now. Do you have aspirations of like kind of maybe becoming champ at 125 and then moving up to 135 to start contending for a title there? Like just throughout your career, just like an overall goal, or do you have any thoughts on that? Because that's kind of what they do in boxing, right? Like you see Terrence Crawford and all these guys. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe I mean, obviously the goal right now is to get to the flyweight title, right?
Right.
But as far as up, I don't know. If that opportunity presents itself, I mean, it'd be hard to say no to. But I mean, I don't really feel like I cut much or crazy amount to make flyweight. So like as far as just like bumping up for the sake of bumping up, I don't think so. But
Okay.
yeah, just like for sure, like obviously the goal is to be the champ in your division. So trying to get there, and then yeah, once that gets there, I mean, I feel like you got to clean out the division too, right? You can't.
Right.
It's kind of, you don't just be like, oh, I'm the champ here. Let me try and go be the champ over there. So definitely a lot of work, a lot more work has got to be done before we start thinking about that.
Yeah. All right, and I got a crazy one for you. I'm just gonna ask you. Do you abstain from sex for your fight camps? Is what people want to know.
If people want to know, no, I mean, I don't really, maybe like not the week of because you're alone, but I've never really believed or thought too much science behind that. So
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's what they do in boxing, so I figured I'd just ask you. What is your training routine like though? You train like 5, 6 days a week, twice a day. What's it looking like with the boxing, the wrestling, and all that?
when I'm in camp, I'm pretty much in the gym every day.
Okay.
I think usually maybe Fridays and Sundays are like the only days that I'm in there only once. Other than that, it's usually like a two a day, depending if I gotta work or something. Um,
You work as well?
yeah, so I work part time as a teaching assistant at a school for kids with autism. So usually 1 or 2 days a week, I'm in there until like I'm in fight camp, but like probably like 2 weeks out from the fight.
Okay.
Uh, Usually don't go until after the fight's done, but no, yeah, most days twice.
How'd you get into that, and like why do you do that?
So after college, I didn't fight till what was it, that January. So I was
Hmm.
just kind of just jobless for about a month or so, and then a girl I went to college with, she's like, "Yo, they need people here. They'll probably work with your schedule. I think you'd be good for it. You should go check it out." And when I first went there, I was like, "Oh, what the hell am I getting myself into?" It's a little bit wild, but nah, like once you get to meet the kids and stuff, it's cool. It's a good little distraction from everything else going on in life. So yeah, they've been super cool
I'm
with my,
here.
what's up?
I said I'm here. Sorry, my camera just went off for a sec.
Yeah, no, yeah, they've always worked super well with my schedule and stuff. So I was like before I got into UFC, I was like full time, and then in fight camp I'd be part time. And then once I got my contract after Contender, I just stood part time there. So yeah, it's just a cool little getaway from the fight game, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably gives you a ton of like good energy and like motivation. You said that you're helping autistic kids.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
a school primarily kids with autism. So yeah, it's always a good time, always a good laugh in there with them.
yeah.
Just like younger siblings, I look at them like.
What do? You just kind of help them with their assignments and stuff, or is there like specific role you have?
Yeah, so like each class has a teacher, and then each student has one or two if they need it, like teaching assistants, and that's what I do. So we just kind
Okay,
of help them with their like day to day activities, or if we're going like off site to work or something, just kind of guiding them and assisting them through that. So just kind of basically hanging out with them all day.
okay, gotcha. How long is it? Like 8 hours or something?
Nah, it's like 6.5, 7 hour days there, so it's just like a typical school
Okay,
day.
and you come by like twice a week. You said
Yeah, yeah.
that's dope. That's dope. You probably gonna do that like forever, kind of like because it's rewarding, or maybe one day you won't be able to.
No, I mean, right now I haven't thought about like leaving or stopping yet. Like schedule wise, it still works out, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what the long term
Okay.
plan is there.
Gotcha, brother. Well, I think we could wrap up there. That was a great interview. Thanks for kind of sharing your story and everything like that. I think people will like to know, like, as far as where you came from and all that.
For sure.
Hell yeah, brother. What do you got going on today? You got like training at like 6 o'clock or something?
Yeah, the night we just had wrestling in the morning, so I'll probably have another set. The night session at like 6:30.
For sure, man. Well, all right, man. Enjoy the rest of your day over there, and thanks for taking the time.
No problem, man. See ya.